Can a magician really read someone's mind? Or do they have the power to make anyone do anything? In this video, we are going to witness a mind-blowing mind control act performed by the magician Ryan. Additionally, we will uncover the secret behind this amazing magic. If you enjoy the video, make sure to show your support by liking it. In this act, magician Ryan first invites both judges to the stage. Now, Ryan places a blue deck and a red deck on the table in front of them and asks Simon to choose one. Simon chooses the blue deck. Now, Ryan spreads the chosen deck face up in front of Simon and shows that it is a normal deck. After confirming, Ryan turns the deck face down and spreads it in front of Simon on the table. Similarly, he places the second red deck face down and spreads it in front of Howie. Now, Ryan instructs Simon and Howie to hover their fingers over the decks in the air and then simultaneously pick any card from the deck placed in front of them on the table. After they've made their choices, Ryan picks up the selected cards from the table and declares that if a connection has been established between them, their chosen cards will match. Following this, Ryan asks both Simon and Howie to reveal their chosen cards to the audience, and to everyone's amazement, both have selected the same card, the Five of Clubs. The magician, however, doesn't stop here. Now, Ryan instructs Howie to wear a blindfold. Ryan places one of his fingers on Howie's hand and asks him if he feels any pressure, to which Howie responds with a yes. Following this, Ryan says, "Let's see if both are connected or not." Now, Ryan places one of his fingers on Simon's hand and asks Howie if he feels the pressure again. Astonishingly, Howie confirms that he feels the pressure. This revelation leaves everyone in shock. Ryan doesn't stop here and gives instructions to Howie. He tells Howie that when he feels the pressure being released, he should raise his hand. Afterwards, Ryan slowly removes his finger from Simon's hand. But remarkably, as soon as the pressure is released from Simon's hand, Howie starts raising his hand as if there is a genuine psychic connection between them. Now, Ryan instructs Howie again, telling him to lower his hand when he feels the pressure return. Once again, Ryan places his finger on Simon's hand, and simultaneously, Howie lowers his hand. The magic doesn't end here. Ryan then tells Simon that he can control Howie. Following this, Simon moves his finger up and down, and surprisingly, without seeing anything, Howie starts moving his hand up and down following Simon's lead. After this, with one final magical act, Ryan proves that Simon and Howie are truly connected. Ryan asks Simon to pick a cookie from a cookie box, and then instructs Howie to imagine as if he's holding something in his hand. Now, Ryan asks Howie what he imagined, to which Howie replies, "Cookie."
Cookie.
But how? Can mind control and such a psychic connection between two people truly be possible? As we know, magic is just an amazing trick performed by a magician, and this too is one of Ryan's incredible tricks. Before we reveal the secret behind this magical act, if you enjoyed Mentalist Ryan's astonishing magic, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more magic reveals. Now, let's uncover the secret behind this extraordinary magic. In this act, magician Ryan invites both judges to the stage and spreads a deck in front of each of them. Afterwards, Ryan asks judges Simon and Howie to simultaneously choose any card from the spread in front of them. When they reveal their chosen cards, they magically match perfectly. In reality, there is no mental connection as the magician claims. Instead, the magic lies in the deck itself. In this case, both decks are mirage decks. Mirage decks contain 26 random cards and 26 identical cards. In this instance, it is the Five of Clubs. In this deck, behind each random card is an adhered Five of Clubs card, in such a way that they do not separate from normal shuffling. However, the magician can separate them by applying a slight force when he desires. So, when Ryan spreads the cards in front of Simon and Howie, if you count them, there are 26 cards. Now, you know that behind each card is a pre-attached Five of Clubs. When Simon and Howie point to a card, Ryan separates the above Five of Clubs from that chosen card and presents it to them. If you observe here when Ryan extracts Howie's chosen card, pay attention to these three cards. Now, there are three cards here. and the magician cleverly separates the 5 of clubs card attached to Howie's selected card. This is why even after extracting 1 card, there are still 3 cards left behind. In this way, when Simon and Howie reveal their chosen cards, it turns out to be the 5 of clubs card, creating the illusion that this happened due to some mental connection between them. However, now you know how this was achieved through the clever use of the Mirage deck. After this, Ryan instructs Howie to wear a blindfold over his eyes. Then, placing one of his fingers on Howie's hand, Ryan asks if Howie feels any pressure, to which Howie responds affirmatively. Now, Ryan places his finger on Simon's hand and asks Howie again if he feels the pressure. Surprisingly, Howie says yes. Ryan then tells Howie that when he feels the pressure being released, he should raise his hand. And when Ryan removes the pressure from Simon's hand, at that very moment, Howie starts raising his hand. In reality, when Ryan first places his finger on Howie's hand, he asks him, is he feeling any pressure on his hand?
Gonna touch the back of your hand, you don't mind, do you?
Not the back.
Can you feel this pressure here?
I do.
But when Ryan places his finger on Simon's hand and asks Howie, he only asks if he feels the pressure.
Do you feel this pressure, Howie?
Yes.
In reality, when Ryan places his finger on Simon's hand, at that very moment, he places his foot under the table on Howie's foot. Afterwards, he asks Howie if he feels the pressure, to which Howie says yes. But to the audience, it appears as if Howie is feeling the pressure on Simon's hand without any physical contact. Now, Ryan instructs Howie to raise his hand in the air when he feels the pressure being released. And when Ryan removes the pressure from Simon's hand, Howie starts raising his hand in the air, creating a magical effect. However, as you know, Ryan has 1 foot under the table on Howie's foot. When Ryan lifts his finger from Simon's hand at the same time, beneath the table, he slowly removes his foot from Howie's foot. As the pressure from his foot is released, Howie starts raising his hand in the air. It seems as though Howie is mentally connected to Simon and can feel him. But now you know the actual reason behind Howie's reactions. Exactly. After this, Ryan instructs Simon to control Howie himself. When Simon raises his finger, Howie starts lifting his hand, and when Simon lowers his finger, Howie also lowers his hand. However, now you know that when Simon raises his finger, Ryan also moves his foot away from Howie's leg. So, when the pressure is released, Howie lifts his hand, just as instructed. When Simon moves his finger up and down, if you observe Ryan's body movements, you can get the idea that he is doing something with his foot under the table. Now you know what he's doing under the table. After this, Ryan proceeds to his final act. He gives Simon a cookie and instructs Howie to imagine holding something in his hand. Then, Ryan asks Howie what he imagined, and Howie says cookie.
Cookie.
This revelation leaves everyone astonished. In reality, there is no mental connection or magic involved. Rather, it's an incredible trick by the magician Ryan. If you observe closely, Ryan is seated very close to Howie. In fact, before instructing Howie to imagine, Ryan adjusts himself and moves more closer to Howie. When Ryan tells Howie to imagine holding something in his hand, if you observe Ryan's left hand at that moment, it's behind the table. Exactly, at that very moment, Ryan takes a cookie placed under the table in his hand and puts it in Howie's hand, which is also under the table. When Ryan tells Howie to imagine, since Howie is blindfolded and unaware of what's happening around him, he feels the cookie that was given to him under the table. After a few seconds, Ryan retrieves the cookie from Howie. Now, you can see both of Ryan's hands above the table. When Ryan asks Howie what he felt or imagined in his hand, Howie's answer is cookie. Everyone is amazed because they believe Howie felt the cookie in Simon's hands due to a mental connection, but now you know what Howie actually felt. We work hard to bring you such videos, so please like the video. And if you are new to this channel, subscribe and press the bell icon to receive notifications for all upcoming videos.